You guys heard the album? I just heard the album. What the fuck? Welcome back. Obviously, this is not the episode for the Freight into Sanity. That's still in the works. Ian is all over that bass stem and working on it as we speak. This is an update to what we've already given you, starting with Bread Fan and the Prince and everything after. The entire Justice for All era is about to get a reboot, and a big drop on Echo Bass 2 is coming, so please, stick around. Alright, we'll start with the B-sides. This is Bread Fan. A lot has changed since the version I gave you on Echo Bass 2. I attacked it three different ways. One, with plugins. Jason of Sorrow here is my 4-compressor effects chain, basically flattening out all the volume spikes from track separation software and bringing up all those quiet spots. And then Harvester of Jason is just equalizers that I used to boost frequencies where needed. And of course, the TSE Audio BOD, which stands for Bass Overdrive. It's modeled after Jason's Sansamp Type 21 bass driver pedal. And this presence knob right here allowed me to bring up the missing tone from these stems versus the Guitar Hero leaked tracks. And the second way I attacked it was with the automation lane. I improved even more to make sure that every corner of this song is audible. The bass part is audible. And lastly, that balancing the bass so that it doesn't step on the guitar and the drums, but so that it wasn't so quiet that it's like, what was the point of that? And I think I got a pretty good balance here. I love that middle section. You see here there's this stem called Ian. Ian Rushforth, friend of this channel and mine, basically had an alternate stem which had a lot of what this stem needed, quite frankly. And right here, I'm just going to isolate this for you. This little piece right here. It was just weak without that right there. But together, right. Further up the track, Ian was able to basically rescue this missing piece of Jason Newsted lost media here. I don't know if you can hear that, but in the mix it sounds like this. And at the end, I used this track myself. Basically, there's this section where, I'll just play it for you, where Jason's bass is so loud that you can hear it on the recording because he's just chug, 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 right? Well, in that section, the track separation software gave that bass to the guitar stem. So Ian's stem prevents the bass stem that I have right now from sounding like that. With Ian's, it sounds like this. And again, with the recording, you get the idea. With Bread Fan and the Prince, I really struggled with getting that balance. Every time I got these in my car, the bass was overwhelming. And I actually dug up the remastered versions of the songs, the Metallica releases, and the bass wasn't invisible like Justice for All, but it was kind of like RTL where it was just barely there. So I did listen to it, and I realized that you can hear most of the bass in the recording, the original recording. So bringing it down, it's not going to disappear. So I did bring these down to a manageable level to where you can hear them in the mix without them being overwhelming. But I did have to bring up the quiet octaves that are on this stem that Jason did a lot of because they sound killer. Check this out. So I don't know if you can hear that, but he's basically playing the back end of that groove and laying into it with those octaves. And he's really fluid. I got to give props where it was due. He did a really good job with the song. And I didn't like it the first time I heard it because it's not like what James plays at all. But maybe that was the point. And on to Blacken. I struggle with this one a lot too because the bass actually starts loud and then gets quieter within the first minute of the song. You can actually hear Jason's bass, nothing else is soloed, on the album with its bass tone. That was just the album. You can hear Jason's bass there. As you get further into the song, you can't, and that's because within a minute the bass goes quieter. So you can see here I have it getting louder as the song wears on. Here, you can hear it again. That quiet volume, and then it gets louder. And it's the same. It's the same volume, but I had to automate it to get it to do that. So it drove me nuts for the better part of 2 weeks. And Justice for All. This is the only domino left standing when the rest of them fell. This did not get an update because I couldn't find anything wrong with it. So this is the same version that's still in Echo Bass 2. And it is still my favorite Jason Newsted era Metallica song. And let's check out Eye of the Beholder. Here it is without bass. Which is nothing new for most of us, as this song never had a Guitar Hero League bass track. Here it is with bass. That's how you heard it on Echo Bass 2. 2 months ago, and since then I've been working hard with these plugins trying to get the tone more like the album tone that we never heard thanks to the Guitar Hero League tracks, and this is how it sounds now. Do you hear what I hear? Much better, and the whole song sounds like that now. Alright. Early on, around the Ride the Lightning era of my channel, Ian Rushforth discovered my channel and started making suggestions. I took his suggestions to heart and made improved versions of things I'd already given you, calling them even better. As time went on, he started sending me files with frequency boosts and things to help out. With the Justice for All era, he's basically taken over. He's taking multiple stems and they're interwoven together, all the best parts of the stems, making one what we call a super stem. This is that such thing right here. There's going to be 4 super stems coming at you guys. Basically with his blending of the best parts of the stems and my plugins to match the tone of the Guitar Hero League bass tracks. But anywhere you go in this song, there's bass that sounds like the bass on the other 5 songs. And that's in large part due to Ian. So everybody please say thank you to Ian and subscribe to his channel. One. I remember when this came out, they called them sellouts for releasing a music video. It wasn't the first time, wasn't the last time. What the hell with the haters, this is a classic. Made even better by Jason's bass. The shortest straw has been pulled for you. This is actually my favorite tone of the 5 Guitar Hero League Jason Newsted bass tracks for And Justice for All. It has that perfect amount of overdrive, not quite distortion, of that Sanzant bass driver pedal running through that amp peg head out of that 8x10 cabinet. And on the album we could have had... I love how he contrasts the main riff. It's a shame the album didn't have more bass. They might have won that Grammy they lost to Jethro Tull for metal. So I kind of went a little nuts. As you can see, the automation lane. This was already done months ago. I'm looking at it now, I'm scratching my head, but all of this was necessary, and all of those stops and starts, the bass stem had noise from the surrounding instruments that just bled into the bass stem. So I had to automate these to have silence between those notes. But the biggest difference now to Harvester of Sorrow is this. I had to take this section and put it over here. Because of the way that the bass drum and the toms in this tom section just smothered the bass track, there was no way to hear what Jason was playing and the detail of it without increasing the treble. The problem is the rest of the bass track has way too much treble. So on this bass stem, I have it set at a normal setting where, you know, high is here and presence is here. That's pretty much, you know, how it is for all of them. But for this bass stem, you can see I have high and presence increased greatly. And that is to help with hearing what he's playing here. All right. And by the way, the Harvester of Sorrow bass stem was the first time Ian and I coined the phrase super stem, because basically it's the best parts of multiple stems interwoven together to become some great stem where everything is audible. The best parts of all in one. And it should not go unnoticed or uncredited what he did here. Check this out. Anywhere you go in the song, the bass is audible. And this is one of the songs, again, that did not have a bass track. We wouldn't have anything, or certainly anything near this great if I did it myself. Now, this is not ready. It might not be ready for a few weeks. Ian and I are really taking our sweet time with this because as I've learned from the Justice for All stuff and redoing it to make it even better, when you rush, you don't always get what you're trying to get. So this is the Freighted Insanity as it is right now, the work in progress. I have not automated anything, and Ian has not frequency boosted anything. So this is just his super stem and my plugins and emulators working together, okay? This is how it sounds. And isolated, it sounds like this. More bass than we've ever had on this song, and this was the one I was the most pessimistic about, but the way that it came out, just too good. So like I said, he'll frequency boost it and then I'll automate it, and at some point it will get released, but we're not going to rush this because there's no point in rushing it. And just a sneak peek, To Live Is To Die. And for those of you who hate the kick drum on this song, there's great news. The bass stem, Jason's bass stem actually absorbs the kick drum a lot. So it's really tamed that obnoxious bass drum that everybody hates on this song. Let's just hear it without the bass. Yeah, and now with the bass. It's still there, obviously the kick drum, but now at least it's paired with a bass, which makes the song sound even better. Who would have thunk it? And this is Dyer's Eve. Wouldn't be fair to take you 8 songs into the album and not show you the last one. As you can see, the bass has not yet been converted to mono. That's because I did all these splits before I did that. And if I do that, I'm going to lose the, if I was to stretch it back and see what's in there, it would be gone. So I'm not going to do that right just yet, but I'll show it to you. It's pretty much done. I just have to convert the bass to mono. And I haven't automated it yet either, but this song is loud the whole time from beginning to end. It might not need automation like Battery. We'll just check it out. And without the bass, it sounds like it's being blown through a wind tunnel. And just the bass. And it's a shame because Jason was lockstep with James and Lars every step of the way in this song. And they turned him down. But that's the version they gave you. The version I'm giving you, it won't be like that. So thanks for sticking around. That's going to do it for this week. The Freighted Insanity is next. In the meantime, check out Echo Base 2 for all the newly updated content. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. This is the Metallica Re-Remastered series. Stay tuned for more. Have you guys heard the album? I just heard the album. What the